welcome back to the Sweet Star Candle YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make wickless candles. Before I get started with the video, I just want to let you guys know that I'll have a link down below to my wickless candles. They're a brand new product on my website, so if you want to check them out, I'll have a link at the top of the description. Now let's get into today's video. So the first step, as always, is picking out your vessel. Now with wickless candles, we can get a little bit more fun with the vessel since we don't have to worry about wicks, but I'm just going to be using my standard 22-ounce Libby jar. You also don't have to worry about wicks or wick stickers or any of that stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and add my jars into my aluminum foil. Basically what it does is it prevents bubbles from forming on the side of the candle and kind of keeps the heat within the candle as it cools down. So now that I've got my vessel ready to go, now it's time to prepare the wax. So for this wickless candle, I'm going to do my standard size. So I'm going to need about 14 ounces of both wax and fragrance oil. So I'm going to get that measured out and I'll be right back. So now that I've got my wax measured out, this amount is really just going to depend on how much you want in your vessel. You can kind of go up more towards the top on these since we don't have an open flame. So you just need to determine how much wax you want to use for this, and then of course whatever percentage of the wax fragrance oil, that's what you'll need as well. But at this point you can add whatever color and anything like that. But I'm just going to add some mica powder, of course. This is the Diamond Dust Mica Powder by Nature's Gardens. I'm going to use 1/64 teaspoon. So the mica powder will allow the wax to sparkle as it melts. And you can add a lot more fun things into these kind of candles. I've seen people use whole glitter pieces, of course wax embeds. You can really add anything you want since we're not dealing with a fire. So now I'm going to measure out my fragrance oil. And for this wickless candle, I'm going to be using my Pumpkin Patch Cat fragrance oil. So I'm going to measure that out and I'll be right back. So once my wax is about 225, I like to add in my fragrance oil. And I'll have all of the links to the specific wax I'm using all down below. I also have a Amazon storefront, so if you want to find out like where this pitcher is, for example, or this spoon, basically everything to get started with candle making, wax melt making, I'll have that as a link in the description as well. And I like to mix my wax for about 1.5 minutes before I pour into my jar. And then one last thing before I pour my wax into my vessel, I'm going to heat gun my vessel. This is also going to help bring the temperature of the jar up to the temperature of the wax. So that way, once again, air bubbles do not form. So now that my vessel is heat gunned, I'm going to pour my wax right in. It feels kind of cursed pouring wax into a vessel with no wick or anything. Feels like I'm doing something wrong. But I'm just going to pour and then break the fall with my spoon. That way, once again, trying to prevent air bubbles. Now that it's poured, I'm going to let it solidify overnight, and then I will see you guys tomorrow once it's solidified to put the wax embeds on top, to label it, and also to show you guys what it looks like actually under a candle warmer. So as you guys can see, I've got some wax pumpkins here, and I'm just going to add these to the top of my jar. Now I am adding it in underneath my candle warmer, and then as you guys can see, it just slowly melts, basically just like a candle but with no wick. And I like this warmer as well because it has a timer on it and all that. I also have a link to this candle warmer. I just really like it and it's really pretty. But thank you everyone for watching, and if you want to check out the wickless candles that I make, brand new collection, it's over at sweetstarcandles.com, and I'll have a link at the top description. I'm also on Etsy if you want to shop internationally since my website's only for the US. So I'll have all the links down below. I also have links to all the products I used in today's video, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys very soon.